Have you ever listened to your favorite game soundtrack and wondered to yourself, yowza, I want to do that? So you pirate FL Studio off of Reddit and get cooking up some fire melodies only to realize you're terrible because you've never written music before? Yeah, me too, broski. Well, in this new series, I'm going to be going over everything you need to know when it comes to getting started making your own video game soundtracks. In this video in particular, we're going to be focusing less on the technical aspects like melody structure and arrangement techniques to really look at the broader picture here. We're going to be asking important questions you need to know before you start, like what are you trying to achieve? Do you have a game you're already composing for? And even, what do you want your style of writing to even sound like? Before we jump into the biscuits and sausage of today's video, make sure to subscribe and like and all that hoo-ha and whatnot and things and stuff. Yeah, thank you. First off is the most important question of all. What can we do to make this journey as fun as possible without burning ourselves out in the long run? Back when I started my music journey, I had tried so many ideas of how I want to present my music without having any set-in-stone outlets of my choosing. And you can bet your sweet beepy I burned out pretty damn fast. I was doing everything from uploading to YouTube to freelancing to even composing for some of my own game projects. While it's still extremely important to experiment and see what suits you best, I highly recommend sticking to that one outlet that you click with the most and just go from there. Of course, there's nothing wrong with dabbling in other ways of expressing your ideas and other formats every now and then, but I think for stamina's sake, choosing one outlet might keep the fire underneath you just a tad bit longer. Okay, now that you have found your own way of getting your music out there into the world, now it's time to season it with the finer details, like what style of music are you wanting to make? Are you wanting to make your own video game compositions for games already in development, or do you want to start off composing for non-existent hypothetical games to get some practice first? These are really important questions, as well as they really help specify what exactly you want to do. You may want to make Persona 5 style compositions only to post them to SoundCloud, or you may want to make symphonic metal like Xenoblade Chronicles with a hint of influences from Undertale or Sonic the Hedgehog. It's entirely up to you. While you don't need to know everything right from the get-go, it's still helpful to have some sort of direction rather than just aimlessly making whatever and not really progressing in skill due to a lack of consistency and, experience. If I wanted to make a 7-minute long ballad in the style of One Winged Angel from Final Fantasy VII, it's probably going to come out a lot more professional sounding if I have the experience to back me up and a history of composing symphonic music than if I just composed only jazz for, every single day. And while direction is good for improving in your genre of choice, the other hand tells us that studying other genres may also lead to new musical ideas you wouldn't have thought of otherwise if you weren't studying a completely unrelated genre. Going back to my One Winged Angel example, Nobuo Uematsu wrote that piece heavily inspired off of both Stravinsky and, oddly enough, Jimi Hendrix. Which you would have never guessed, but it's still not surprising to be completely fair. If you follow in his footsteps and approach music like him, not only will you be able to find genres that click with you sooner, but you'll be able to take on any project at any given time. Let's say you practice jazz, metal, and orchestral for, let's say, an hour each day. You would be equally skilled in all those genres a year from now. While it isn't completely necessary to be versatile with your sound, if you're a composer, it may help open up many different opportunities along your way and could create many different job opportunities. That is, if you want to compose for other games. Which brings me to my next point. What do you want to compose for? Do you even want to compose for your own games? Maybe it's other people's games, a fan game even? Whatever it is, I think it's vital to get an idea down early of what you want to do. If it's a fan game, you'll probably want to stick to the original IP style, but if it's a new IP altogether, I'd highly recommend trying to imagine exactly what you're wanting it to sound like. Is the soundtrack more focused on melody? What about style? Is it a catchy Undertale-like battle theme with a memorable hook, or is it entirely on the opposite side of the spectrum, like Until Dawn with its background ambience? These are a lot of questions to really digest and think on, but I think they are definitely worth keeping in mind if you really want to advance your career in music. Now that I've overstimulated you with a slew of questions, we can make our first song. Let's say you know exactly what kind of song you want to make. You've thought of the melody, you know the genre, you can hear it all in your head, and you can't wait to share it with the world. Well, how do you go about producing it? What if I told you there were hundreds of ways of making music without physically producing it yourself? Or even, if you wanted to produce it, there are hundreds of ways to go about doing that too, and which most aren't that difficult really. There are so many angles you can attack this from. If you want to compose and arrange but not produce, learn some bare bones music theory and write it out, like on paper. I know it can sound silly, but it's an amazing way to start. It doesn't even have to be sheet music. It could be as simple as writing a chord progression on your notebook, or hell, even melody lines on a sticky note if you know the musical notes well enough. But if you want to jump straight into the deep end and produce your ideas as well, why not download a free DAW and get to work? It's not as hard as it seems once you've memorized a couple of tips from tutorials. Also, don't be fooled by the dozens of DAWs out there online that can cost $500 upwards. Free DAWs can be just as effective, if not produce more impressive results than paid ones. Take popular YouTuber Insane in the Rain Music for example. My guy went from posting jazz covers of video game songs to actually arranging music for a mainline Pokemon game using a free DAW called Reaper. You can download that right now for free in literal seconds. It's not that deep, I swear. Watch some tutorial on how MIDI works. Download some sound fonts offline of games you already love. Anything works, really. Despite the overbearing load of information I just served you in your little Happy Meal box, I really hope it's not that difficult. Getting started with game audio is mostly just finding answers to questions you'll start to ask yourself or haven't even started thinking. I hope this video gives you a good fill-in-the-brook approach, I guess, so buckling down doesn't actually seem that difficult. Next week we'll be talking about melody composition and some techniques I've learned throughout the years that have helped me get to where I am now with my compositions. Till next time, later.